Hello everyone, it's Adair75 back again with another video, and this time it's going to be on my favorite tier 10 tank, or at least medium, because right now my favorite tier 10 is tied, and it right now is the M48 Patton, but it's tied with the E5. But just for this video's sakes, I'm going to be doing it on the Patton. And I don't know why it is, but I have a good idea of why it is. It's because one, I'm actually a real life tank nerd, because I actually have a fascination in tanks. Like, I still have a box full of tanks. I have a box full of tanks right behind my chair I'm in. And then I have a few collectible tanks that are meant for looks. And, well, I'm also playing a tank game. And I've literally watched full documentaries on tanks. And one of my favorite tanks to watch documentaries on is the M48 Patton. And by the way, if you all want me to, I'll probably in the description say what documentaries I have watched and what videos and pretty much documentaries of videos that have this tank in it, or ones I watch, and I'll put them in the description, just saying the names of them and where you can find them. Just in case if you all are interested and want to know what stuff I watch in my free time. It might not be enjoyable for some people that don't care about tanks but just like this game. But if you're like me, huge tank nerd, I highly recommend the stuff I watch. So either way, this tank was just a little history. Actually, I'll do the history when we get to the live battles. But I really like this tank. I don't without having all my nerdy history stuff about me and tanks, especially World War II. It's just I like the gun, honestly. Even though the aiming time the accuracy is worse than the M60, just looking at the gun. And this is the way I'm running this. And then I have to run it like this, and this thing has worse dispersion. This thing has worse accuracy. I believe it has more hit points. No, it doesn't. It doesn't even have that. They have the same pen, though. I do know that one for a fact. I just want to make sure. Make sure I'm not stating lies. 58 for HE. Yeah. But the weird thing is that this tank has better damage per minute, because I know this one's like 2900. Yeah, 2900. This gun is better, but I still prefer my M48's gun. I don't know why, but another reason why I like this tank over the M60, because even though they have very, very similar tank stuff, they're very similar in playstyle, is this tank is actually lower down. If you look, it's a little taller. If you look at the engine deck on this one's a lot flatter, while this one's a lot higher up, which means this gun is not going to be able to aim down over the rear. So if you're running away and your enemy's behind you and they're kind of on a small slope, you won't be able to hit them in the M60, but you'll be able to hit them in the M48 because their engine deck's lower, I think. But even just by looking, this tank is just shorter, which is nice. You kind of want that, even though it's still tall, it's shorter. Also, armor profile. The whole armor, in my opinion, is better, even after this thing's armor profile got buffed. Turret is still better. This tank's turret is also, I believe, bigger. I can't tell, though. But the turret cheeks, though, I get pinned in those more than I do in the M48. Also, I just think this tank looks cooler. I know that you can't really change that, but even with the other camo, this thing still looks cool. I'm tempted to get both camos so I can change it whenever I want, but I'm a little broke right now, as you can see. 0 gold. I had to spend it all on credits to buy the Progetto 65, so turn it into credits. The penetration's not bad, especially for a medium. I run this just to make the aiming time a little better. And the dispersion. Mobility was already decent. Yada. this is equipment I use. And I don't use this because enhanced track is useless. I use this because you'll get pinned sometimes into the track wheel. If I get tracked in this, it's kind of really bad because the mobility is not like it's already not that great. It's still decent. It's decent mobility, but it's not the greatest mobility of all time. So if I get tracked multiple times, I'll be able to repair it more often. And I also think it makes it more versatile because when are you going to have 20 seconds to just shoot at a tank flat on, like straight on, like this entire time? I surely don't ever have that opportunity, really. Like, I rarely do. So that's why I usually run this. So yeah. And now we're just gonna get into the, live gameplay and some history. So, starting off, this tank was developed in the late 50s and the 60s. Early 60s. Because this tank was the backbone of the American military and the South Vietnamese military during the Vietnam War. And at that time, this tank was actually not armed with a 105mm. It was during Vietnam War. I think most M48s had a 90mm gun. And these tanks were going up against T-55s and I believe T-62s. I don't know what where my team's going. Well, I don't know if this. Yeah, C-100. You always want to go left on this. Yeah, that was my faulty aiming. I'm not blaming the gun. Also, this might be a little extra biased. I'm American, and this tank is American, and I like American tanks. And I love their playstyles too, which is why I like the E5 a lot. I'm not a big fan of the M60, believe it or not. Doesn't make fully sense to me. And people say the E3 has extremely good armor. Just look premium, and when you have the hatch, and like let's say it's like kind of aiming downwards like it was. Oh. Old clanmate. Like, get that, see? I can shoot the roof of the E3, which is really, really nice. And extremely useful. So just a little tip there. If you're above the E3, you can shoot. If you shoot down on the engine deck, not engine deck, the roof of the tank, like near where the cupola is. Yeah. So. Yeah, to sum it all up, the M48 was actually performed very well against the North Vietnamese tanks. And for what they were having to deal with, like during the Vietnam War, a lot of guerrilla warfare, a lot of ambushes, pretty much. If you just know anything about the Vietnam War, it was just a lot of guerrilla warfare by the North Vietnamese. So we're trying to get up behind them, get a juicy HE shot. Okay, nice one. Now we're just gonna try to pump out a little extra damage. Okay, we're not gonna get that little extra juicy damage, but still, we got some damage. And yeah, it wasn't that bad of a game. Yeah. This is, if y'all want me to, I can do a video on basically the heavy tank version of the M48 Patton. Because they're literally almost exactly the same tank, just one has more armor and more hit points. It's basically, one's a heavy tank, one's a medium tank. So if you want me to make a video on this tank, comment down below and I'll do it. So. Yeah, that's basically it, everyone. I hope you all have a great day, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.